Hey y'all, what's going on? What's up, folks and folkettes? This is Doggone Back. I got a different open tag that I was thinking about this week, mainly because I'm lacking them. But obviously, this is usually a Warncliffe Wednesday, right? But something that relates to me and something I have more of, I would say. I'm gonna start this out. It's Workhorse Wednesday, right? What's that knife? What's that tool? Whatever you got that you can rely on. That's your workhorse. You can always take that thing out the pasture. You're gonna have a good ride, a good day's work on it, right? I thought that could be something new, and everybody can kind of show off some really rough stuff, you know, things that they rely on and used in their daily life, at work or their home hobbies, whatever. So let's get started, right? I got two different things that I'm gonna show y'all. One, I did some wheeling and dealing, sold off a beloved knife to get this, but it was all worth it because it's something I've been having on my list for a while now, right? Behold, we got the 71 bullnose in Greenland and Micarta. I seen old Richter and Randy Johnson had this model, I think, and I just had to have it. I don't know what to tell you. I saw a great deal on one, so I did some trading and ended up with this bad boy in my pocket today. Got it in yesterday. So just check that out, man. I love this thing already. Love it to death. The micarta just has such a great texture to it, man. It's just so, it's like rigid. It's really nice. I'm loving, this thing's already got some hard teeners on there. I could have used this on the Teener Tuesday yesterday, but it ain't my teeners, so I really didn't feel like I earned it, you know what I mean? I'm thinking I'm probably going to clean this up, actually, and start it over. Do my own teeners on there, you know what I mean? I don't know what the fella before me did to it, but he's put it through its paces, and I know that this is a workhorse, without a doubt. This baby's sweet, man. It's got the lanyard tube in there. I got to make myself a little leather lanyard to go in there. The brass pins in there, I'm loving that. The contrast with brass and green or brown just gets me, man. It gives me the fizz, like a Wrangler Star, right? Gives me the fizz every time. Something about that contrast. The brass is just such a classy freaking metal to add into a knife, especially a slip joint. I've been tempted to get some brass scales for some of my knives in the past, and I'm getting closer. Definitely getting closer. It's got a little bit of a half stop. You can hear this. It's all right, snappy. It ain't the hardest pulling knife that I have, but it's pretty up there. It's strike right down the middle though. Check that out. Even after all that use, it's still ready to go, right? Yeah, I could do that. I could do that all week, all day long. Even if it ain't the craziest snap, it's still some snap, you know what I mean? This is my first Saudi that has a half stop too. I already love the Sodbuster pattern, but for this thing to have the snap on there and the excuse me, not the snap, the half stop, just does it for me. So I'm very, very, very pleased to have this now. Fits my hand like a glove. I've been looking for something a little bit thicker, or at least longer in length on the handle to get a better purchase on. I have like semi-wide hands, I guess you would say, bigger hands. So the Sodbuster that I have right now, that jig bone, the walnut, or the mahogany, I think it is. Yeah, it's the mahogany. That one there is a little bit slender, but this thing here's got some stock to it, you know what I mean? Check that out. It's at least like a ½ inch minimum. So anyway, this is gonna be one of my workhorses, my Workhorse Wednesday right here. All right, moving on. I got one more. It's unorthodox. A lot of people don't really like these, it seems like, in the community. But I rely on this thing a lot, and it's gotten me through a lot of days of work where, you know, I didn't want to wear out my knives. I wanted something that was gonna do the job for me, but I can put the hurt on it. So got me a Leatherman Wave Plus. I've had this since the summer. My mother got it for me as a present, a gift or whatever, I think for my birthday. With me doing maintenance around the campground and stuff like that, it got me a little bit kind of caught off guard. I'm used to having some tools on me, but I was constantly running around the place trying to fix stuff, doing plumbing or messing with electrical stuff or just tightening this or whatever. And I wanted to have something on me that if somebody gave me a call or I needed to go and like investigate, I could have most of my tools on me for the day, handle the problem most of the time. And, you know, the guest would be happy and the thing would be fixed and I could move on with the rest of my day, right? So I started looking at Leathermans, and this baby showed up as a great option. I wish I could have jumped on the Arc, actually. That came out like probably a month or two after I got this, and I really, really like that, especially because I think it's uses MagnaCut in the knife, I believe. So, and it's got a little thumb stud on there, I think. It might even be spring-loaded, I'm not sure. But the Arc is pretty cool. Nevertheless, I'm good with this. This thing has done me a wonderful job on anything I've needed it for. I use this a lot with my leather work, pull my needles through. I know some people are into like the Kinepics, like the really small little handheld, like channel lock style deals or pliers. But this does me, you know, a good day's work if I need to. And it's good for my little hobbies like that too. You know, you got your scissors on there. I use that for cutting thread sometimes. This one here is probably one of my most used tools on this right here. It's like a flathead, but it's also like so stocky. You can kind of see it there. It's very stocky that you can use that as like basically a pry bar if you need to on something. And that's what I've done with that quite a bit. And the majority of like light switch panels, like covers and stuff like that, they're all flathead. Things like some of the plumbing things I've used to pry open. Then you got your Phillips head that switches out, and you can also make that a flathead. So this is like a true flathead if you need something smaller. So you just switch that bit in and out. And then they make bit kits for these too that fits in here, and it makes it another like 2-3 inches, I think, longer. This is one tool I've just started to use more and more actually too. My can opener, bottle opener. The use of the can opener is actually better than the bottle opener aspect. When you try to do this as a bottle opener, it's pretty small, and that hook that's on there is just a little bit too recurved, so it's hard to get the angle there. Not to say that it stops me from drinking though, you know. I'll find a way, right? So yeah. There's some other little useful stuff on there. If you see, maybe there's you can kind of see there's a ruler on there as a marking. I don't really use that. I think that's more of like a construction carpenter's kind of deal. But I don't really have much use for it. There's a little small screwdriver there too. I guess it's a flathead. I've mainly used it as like a toothpick deal, kind of like size wise, to get into like your SD cards and things like that on your phone, or you need something really, really small to pick at. Because I have my own little set of like small Torx screws. It's for like taking apart phones and things like that. It came in a kit. It's like an iFixit kit, if you ever heard of that. So if I need to take something small apart, that's what I'm going to use, not this. But it's there if I need it. This thing's pretty cool, actually. One of my favorite deals is the file. So this is a diamond edge or diamond file. So if I'm really in a pinch with some of my super steel knives, I don't recommend this. This is an extreme pinch because you're gonna screw your edge up probably, but I'll take that and just kind of run it back and forth a couple times to give myself a little bit of an edge. But I'm like crafty like that. Sometimes I'll use my I'll use the bottom of my coffee cup on 1095 all day, or like some lighter steels and things like that. It works when you really need an edge and you're in a pinch. You know, if I'm running around and I just need to get a little edge going for the rest of the day or whatever, yeah, it's helpful. I did it with this one last night, actually. It ain't the craziest, you know, sharp or whatever. I'm gonna go over it and actually do a real fine job on it. I just ran out of time yesterday. My mother-in-law came into town, so I had to go up to the airport and pick her up and then bring her back down into town. And so we spent the rest of the day together, my wife and her. So I didn't even get to make an entry in the Teener Tuesday. So Richter, I'm sorry. I'll get you next week, bud. But I'm going to do some polishing, some cleaning on this maybe, and start my own Teeners. So probably next week I'm going to have this guy all teenered up for that. That's the goal, at least. So I got the Leatherman and I got the 71 Bullnose. This is a great pair, by the way. You can't go wrong with something like this. I think it's a great freaking utilitarian knife. You can use it for anything you want, though. This Skinner blade that's on here just works like a charm for whatever you want. I don't know if I'm going to straight use it for everything just yet. I was kind of considering that, because this is my first farm and field knife from GEC. I know they're meant to be used for other stuff than just food, but that's kind of like how my slip joints work, is they're all mainly, it's like food and then like dirty stuff. So if I carry this guy, I might have to carry like another slip joint for food or something like that. I don't know. I got to figure out a system yet. I'm like OCD about that kind of stuff. I want my knives to have a purpose and like specific things, you know, because it's kind of nasty a little bit, right? If you're using one knife for, like, yeah, I just cut out my my freaking radiator hose on my truck or whatever, and then I'm gonna go and make lunch with my same knife. Even if you clean it, it's just not the same clean, right? At least that's how I look at it. So anyway, thanks for joining me, y'all. I hope to see some open tags today. If you get a chance, show me them workhorses. Show me what you got. Show me that hard stuff, man. Something you're working on, something you've been beating on for a century, a decade, more like a week, whatever. Just show me what you've been using. Tell some stories too. I want to hear some good stories as to why that is your knife, you know? What have you done with that thing? What makes it yours? So yeah, anyway, please like, comment, subscribe if you want. I would greatly appreciate that. Check out my Instagram page with some of my leather work on there. I'm getting a little batch kind of worked up right now, but there's always going to be stuff coming out. I try to make at least a couple pieces a week. And if you have if you have something in particular that you want, get a hold of me, and I can definitely work it out with you. So yeah, all right. This is Doggone Out, y'all. Have a good day.